my journey. All you have to do is follow my voice.
Hello guys, this is my review for the new movie Reminiscence starring Hugh Jackman, and this film is sort of a neo-noir sci-fi mystery set in a futuristic world where people can relive their own memories, and when Hugh Jackman's character gets entangled into this mystery and romance, he has to look back through his old memories and look through other people's to figure out what's going on. Now that sounds like a really interesting series of events and some incredible, intriguing concepts, and this movie is filled with very original ideas, and its concepts alone are very, very fascinating and something that we haven't necessarily seen before. But unfortunately, it shocked me and quite disappointed me how generic this film turned out to be, even though its concepts are so intriguing. And this movie just fell apart for me as I continued watching it. There are things I still liked about the movie, but its style and its story was something that looked like it was right up my alley, but unfortunately, I did not enjoy this movie very much at all. But there were still some praises with the movie. A lot of the praises I have come more towards the ending to the movie, so I don't necessarily want to spoil them. But the main thing I did like about the film was the way it ended, actually, and its final twist, how it tied things up, how it brought this. How it brought all the plot points up to its conclusion, how it tied all of them together for the end. I liked the final twist, I liked how it ended. You could try it was pushing for some emotion, but unfortunately, I didn't feel any of the emotion and I didn't care about anything that was going on towards the end because the setup was so poorly done. There's an aspect to this movie towards the beginning of the movie that just felt very messy. It's like there was a lot of ideas, a lot of world building it's trying to do, and it doesn't necessarily present it in the best of ways. It uses a non-linear storytelling pattern, especially with how it goes through and back and forth between memories we're seeing. But because of this storytelling device, even though it's a really interesting way to tell the story, it's really difficult to actually get invested into the movie or the characters and actually care about the mystery that's being entangled in. Especially it's especially difficult to get invested and care about the main romance as well between Hugh Jackman and Rebecca Ferguson's character. Their characters are nothing special. There could have definitely been more to their characters, but because it keeps going back and forth between what's a memory and what isn't, it's really difficult to actually get attached to these characters in any form of way and actually feel what Hugh Jackman is trying to do is he's getting obsessed with finding her and doing this sort of mystery that's surrounding her as well. And it's really difficult to actually care about what's going on, and there isn't really much driving narrative force, and there isn't much actually going on within this story. There isn't enough action propelling it, and I'm not just talking about action sequences, I'm on about action in the narrative. There's not enough things that the character does or experiences. There's not enough action that propels the movie forward. There's not enough events that occur throughout the film. It just feels very, very bland, and it doesn't feel like they do much with this concept at all. And that mainly comes down to the way its exposition is used. There is this voiceover from Hugh Jackman's character over the entire movie, and I guess that's meant to fit its neo-noir mystery type style, and I really like its neo-noir style. I really like that style of movies, and I understand why it has a narration because a lot of movies in that style do have a narration with them, but this just felt very heavy-handed, and because it was throughout most of the movie, it felt like he was just explaining the plot and explaining how he feels on screen, and you can never really connect to his character because of that. And the story was also very exposition based. We got loads of scenes, chunks of scenes of just information being told to us, and you could never really experience the story in a visual manner. It felt like everything was just being told. And even though there are some great sequences visually within the film, there are some very well directed moments, I felt like the story wasn't told as well as it could have been in the slightest. It is a similar story to other sci fi sort of films we've seen, but its concepts are very original and very intriguing. This could have been one of the sci fi greats. This could have been an incredible sci fi movie, but unfortunately, I didn't necessarily care about anything that was going on, even though the style of the film was intriguing and its concepts and ideas were very, very intuitive. So there's a lot of stuff in this movie that I really enjoyed and I feel like I should have liked, and I do think it is worth seeing for the most part to actually experience these ideas, feel like you're seeing something you haven't seen before. But it's just the mediocrity of this film really does just come down to its execution. The ideas within it are fascinating, but the execution of them is kind of generic. It's still worth seeing. I still mildly enjoyed watching the film, but I just left feeling like this could have been something way better. Overall, I'm going to give Reminiscence a C+. I'm also going to give this movie a 55%. If you've seen Reminiscence, let me know what you think about it in the comments section down below. I also have a letterbox linked in the description, so you can, there's loads more reviews and stuff and opinions on movies on there. And of course, thanks for watching, and goodbye.